Hello everybody, I'm Joseph and welcome back to the Deck Archives. Today we will be going over the new protagonist deck for the DZ series, Rezael. So, Fated One of Miracles Rezael is a deck that focuses on multi-attacking, calling units back from their drop zone, and performing the miracle of resurrecting oneself with its divine skill. So let's go and start with the ride line. So we start with the normal grade 0 of the D era. If this unit is rolled upon, if you went second, draw a card. Grade 1 is Patrol of Gusts Ventesia. So, this unit reads, when this unit is rode upon by Knight of Great Advance Asenor, call this card to Rearguard Circle and Soul Charge 1. During your turn, if you have a Grade 3 or greater Vanguard with Rezael and its card name, this unit gets power plus 2000. So this is like an 8k booster, a good way of pushing damage in the early game as well. It's, all in all, pretty good Grade 1 for the ride line. Grade 2, Knight of Great Advance Asenor. So, this unit reads, auto when this unit is rode upon by grade 3 or greater card with Rezael and its card name, choose up to one grade 2 or less card from your drop and call it to Rearguard Circle. So it's a way of resurrecting cards from your drop zone, which is once again pretty good, you're developing your board. Finally, the grade 3, Fated One of Miracles Rezael. Auto on Vanguard Circle, when this unit attacks a Vanguard, you can counterblast one to choose up to 2 cards from your drop with different grades, and a total grade less than or equal to the number of cards in your damage zone, and call them to Rearguard Circle. So, what does that mean? So, let's say you have 3 damage in your damage zone, you can call up to 2 cards with the sum of their grades being less than or equal to 3. If you have 4, so on and so forth. This card's divine skill reads, act on Vanguard Circle, Soul Blast 1, return all critical triggers from your drop to your deck, and shuffle. And this unit gets drive plus 1 until the end of the turn. Until the end of this fight, you cannot ride units without Rezael and its card name, and you get, when your damage check reveals a trigger other than heal trigger, if your damage zone has 5 or more cards, choose a card from your damage zone and heal it, and you lose this ability. Once again, divine skills can only be activated once per game, and you can only activate a divine skill, just period, the keyword, once per game. So in all, the ride line, pretty cool. I like the idea of the deck being able to perform the miracle of resurrecting oneself with your critical triggers, so I think we should just go over the triggers next then. So I'm maxing out on all possible copies of critical triggers. 1, because criticals are great, and 2, well, the deck wants critical triggers. So I'm running for the vanilla, 4 of the Soul Charging critical trigger. I'm running 3 copies of the defensive front trigger because we need the extra defensive value in the deck, and drawing isn't the most important thing right now. I'm running 3 copies of the vanilla heal and 3 copies of the effect heal that checks the opponent's grade because I'm looking for ways to combat Shiranui and Luard. And then for the over trigger, I'm running 1 Valnut because this deck does a lot of multi-attack, specifically multi-attacking, resurrecting cards from the drop zone. So what we're able to do here is on attack, we're able to do Rezael's skill, call new units to circles, and then if we check over trigger, we can give the new units called the over trigger skill. And what is the overtrigger skill, you might ask? Well, the additional effect of this overtrigger is choose one of your standing rearguards, and it gets auto on Rearguard Circle once per turn. At the end of the battle, this unit attacked, stand this unit, and until the end of the turn, if you do not choose a card, draw a card, and choose up to 1 unit card from your hand and call it to Rearguard Circle. So either way, it's an attack extender. Going over some of the other cards in the deck, I'm running 2 copies of Painkiller Angel as a way to convert Soul into card draw. I'm running 4 copies of Saragon because Saragon is a very, very, very good card. This unit reads, when this unit is boosted, if you have more rearguards than your opponent, or if you played an order this turn, this unit gets power plus 5000 to the end of the battle. And you look at the top. So this unit reads, when this unit boosts, if you have more rearguards than your opponent, or if you played an order this turn, this unit gets power plus 5000 until the end of the battle, and at the end of that battle, you can retire this unit, look at the top 2 cards of your deck, and choose a card from among them, put it into your hand, and put the rest on the bottom of the deck. So it's able to refund itself, it's able to buff itself, and it's able to fill cards back into your hand. For the rest of the grade 1 lineup, I'm running 4 copies of Aerial Sage. This unit reads, continuous on Rearguard Circle. During the battle, this unit boosted. If you have a grade 3 or greater Vanguard with Rezael and its card name, this unit gets power plus 5000. And auto on Rearguard Circle, when this unit boosts a grade 3 or greater Vanguard with Rezael and its card name, discard a card from your hand to countercharge 1. This unit gets power plus 2000 until the end of that battle. We're not using too much counterblast in this deck, but it's very nice to just have a countercharger since Rezael counterblasts and, well, running some other counterblasters too, but counterblasting isn't the hottest commodity in the deck. So we're really only running 4 of these. Rounding out the grade 1s in deck, I'm running 3 copies of the normal Sentinel and 1 copy of the Elementary Sanctitude. So in the grade 2 lineup, I'm running 4 orders, Wisdom of Beginning that cleared the world. So this is so this card reads, play this card, cost counter +1, draw 2 cards, choose 2 cards from your hand, call each of them with grade less than or equal to your Vanguard to Rearguard Circle, and discard them if not. So it's a way to get cards into your hand and just throw stuff out onto the board if you did draw into units. So along with that, I'm running 4 copies of Knight of Piercing Kadwala. This unit reads, auto on Rearguard Circle at the end of the battle that this unit attacked a Vanguard, or if you have 4 or more units. Along with that, I'm running 4 copies of Knight of Piercing Kadwala. This unit reads, auto on Rearguard Circle at the end of the battle that this unit attacked the Vanguard. If you have 4 or more units, you can Soul Blast 1 and retire this unit. Look at the top 3 cards of your deck, choose up to 1 grade 2 or greater card from among them, reveal it, put it to your hand, and shuffle your deck. If you do not reveal a card, draw a card. So it's able to get other grade 2s, or it's able to just draw you a card. If not, it's also a way of just converting Soul to, well, more cards in hand. Along with that, I'm also running 4 copies of the new Cycler as well, Divine Sister Biscotti. This unit reads, when this unit is put on Guardian Circle from hand or discarded from the hand while riding from the ride deck, you can counter blast 1 or Soul Blast 3 to draw a card, as well as the second effect, Auto. When this unit is placed on Rearguard Circle, if you Persona roll this turn, you can counter blast 1 or Energy Blast 3. Look at the top 3 cards of your deck, choose up to 1 card from among them, put it onto the top of the deck, and put the rest on the bottom of the deck in any order. If it's not the battle phase, you can call this card to Rearguard Circle instead of putting it on top of the deck, which is pretty good. Rounding out the grade 2 lineup, I'm running 2 copies of Knight of Gentle Beauty Nobia. This unit reads, auto, when this unit is placed on Rearguard Circle, if you have a grade 3 or greater Vanguard with Rezael in its card name, you can counter plus 1 to look at the top 3 cards of your deck, choose up to 1 grade 3 or less card from among them to call it to Rearguard Circle, and put the rest on the bottom of the deck in any order. If it's the battle phase, you can reveal it and put it into your hand instead of calling it. So it's a way of either setting up defensive lines or setting up some cooler attacking lines as well. It costs a counter blast, so that's a third guaranteed counter blaster because we have the order. So once again, really only need to run the 4 counter charges anyhow. So, second skill though is when this unit attacks a grade 3 or greater unit, if you have a grade 3 or greater Vanguard with Rezael in its card name, you can Soul Blast 1 and this unit gets power plus 10,000 until the end of that battle. Finally, in the grade 3s, I'm running a couple finishers and Gigantic Masher, so this is really one of the only good finishers in the deck right now until we get some more support for the deck. So this unit reads, when this unit is placed on Rearguard Circle by the ability of Vanguard with Rezael in its card name, this unit gets power plus 15,000 to the end of turn, turning into a 28,000 attacker, which is decently hard to guard, but like I said, we don't really have too many finishers. Finally, I'm running Bracing Angel Ladder, which is an order that reads, draw a card, put this card to the soul, and to the end of your opponent's next turn, you get, during your turn, all your Vanguards get power plus 5,000, and all your Rearguards cannot be chosen and cannot be put other than Rearguard Circle by your opponent's card effects. So it's a way of dodging Shiranuri's effects and dodging other kinds of retire effects as well. Very good card to have in that matchup. So as we can see, this deck is really good at just not dying, but very not good at closing out games, as we will see in the test hands. So going over test hands, let's see what we got in the first grip. This is a keepable hand, honestly. We have 3 pretty good units to call and couple of defensive cards into triggers. I think we send one of the triggers back just so we can get up the top, which is one of the order, which is pretty good as well. So we're going to go and start. We're going to pretend that we won the dice rolls. We're going to stand and draw, and we're going to pitch the Gigantic Master because we can just get that back to Rezael's skill later on in the game. I'm going to go ahead and go to the grade 1 and get the Energy Generator crest, and then we'll just go ahead and pass it from here. So on the opponent's turn, we're going to go ahead and pretend that they dealt us 1 damage. Getting a critical trigger is pretty good in case they have other ways to commit. So I'm just going to go to our second turn, send draw. On this discard, we can go ahead and get rid of cards that are pretty good, and we're pretty low in soul right now. So I think we pitch the Painkiller for now and just get it back later. I'm going to go to the grade 2. We're going to go ahead and grab you out. In this case, I don't think we want to commit too hard, so we're going to commit you as a booster. We're gonna go ahead and soul charge 1. I'm gonna go ahead and go to the battle phase. I don't really want to commit anything else right now. I want to keep the rest of these cards in hand and just keep the counter blast. I'm just gonna swing for 118k, no crits, and then that's fine there. We're gonna say that they dealt us 2 damage here. Getting the front trigger is pretty good. We'll say that they're able to get the second damage in through effects and such. And we're gonna go ahead and go to our first grade 3 turn. So I think here what we discard is the Kadwala. Go to Rezael. And from here, we're gonna use one of our counterblasts, and we're gonna go ahead and play Wisdom. Draw 2. We'll go ahead and get out the Sogalon and the Aerial Sage. We'll call the Gigantic Masher here. We'll go to battle. So we're gonna go ahead and attack with the Gigantic Masher first. We're gonna not boost, we're not gonna commit. Then we're going to go ahead and swing with the Rezael. Counterblast 1. We're gonna go ahead and get out 2 units. We're gonna go and get out the second Masher, and we're gonna go ahead and get out the Kadawala here. We're gonna send you to Grave, get out the Kadawala. And then... no, we couldn't do that actually because we needed the 1 damage. So instead of the Kadawala, we're gonna go and get the Painkiller Angel. From here, we're gonna go ahead and check 1, check 2. Front trigger's pretty good. We're gonna go ahead and swing with the Gigantic Masher first. And then from here, yeah, we'll probably swing Rear Guard in this case. And from there, as we can see, we don't have a lot of critical triggers. At a certain point, when you have like maybe 5 or 6 critical triggers, then you're gonna wanna pop the Divine Skill just to greater increase your chances. Aside from that, like I said, we can see we have a decent amount of cards in hand. Pretty good defensive options on the crackback turn for the opponent. We can go ahead and on subsequent turns, if they attack here, that's fine. We can just recall it back out with Rezael. We can do a lot from this point. In conclusion, yeah, the deck's fine. The deck needs a bit more points of interaction and points of support. All in all, the deck's pretty okay. For the first wave of a protagonist deck, I wasn't expecting too much, but the deck's fine. It's cool, it's great, and I like it. It's a very fun, unique way of like making a defensive deck without outright just giving it very high defensive numbers, and there's also some attack pressure in there too, since you're refreshing critical triggers. With that, I thank you all so very much for watching, and I hope to see you guys in the next video. Bye.